Welcome to another episode of the Lone Recruiter Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Clementson, and in today's episode, I want to walk you through the absolute importance of hitting your absolute high targets in recruitment and why it is so vital that you see what I see when I look at low performance versus high performance. I ran through this exercise with our team internally, and I think it was a real eye-opener, and it got people really energized about the idea of pushing themselves, because when you see this, I'm sorry, you won't be able to unsee it. And once you can't unsee it, I'm hoping that it gets absorbed into your psyche and you just become an absolute powerhouse, because it like failure or like not succeeding is just not going to be okay for you anymore. Okay, so what I want you to do, this will take 5 minutes max, and this one could change your life. So let's get stuck into it. Get a piece of paper, and I'm going to share my screen. I want you to draw something quite similar to what you see here. And if you are listening at home, you don't have the YouTube on, and you can't see what I'm doing, I've essentially got an A4 piece of paper on its side, and it's broken up into thirds with horizontal lines across the first third and then the second third. So I've essentially got like Neapolitan ice cream, top, middle, bottom layer. And then down the side are a couple of vertical lines. And, we don't have to muck around that. But if you can see my screen, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, the first thing we need to do, right? The first thing I want to do is what are all of those costs? What are all of those things in your life that you spend your base salary on? Now, everyone here makes a base wage or a minimum wage or a minimum amount of money. What are the items in your life that no matter what your performance is, you have to pay for them? So think like electricity, mortgage. I'll share my screen here. Like I've got mortgages. You got food, you got shopping, you got your kids stuff, you got bills. Various bits of like sort of entertainment, power bills. You got tolls, if you're driving places, Netflix, petrol, car rego. You got your medicine, doctors, house repairs, haircuts, birthday presents, you name it. And this is wigged out a little bit on this size screen, so sorry for that. But you get the gist. Like this is the stuff that when you get paid a wage every week or every month or however you get your income in, this stuff just soaks up most of that, right? And this is the first thing that gets the attention with your money, right? So hit pause if you've got a moment and just work out what are all those items in your life that you're paying for. That irrespective of your performance, you're going to take the wage that you earn and you're going to spend it on this stuff. That goes down the bottom, right? It's below the line, okay? Now, once you've done that, I want you to start thinking about those little extra bits, those little treats that you give yourself, those little bits that you go, I don't feel like I deserve this. It's not too big. It's just a small holiday. I'm going to go up the coast, or I really want that item of clothing. Maybe I've got a hobby like mountain bike riding. I want to buy a new set of tires. Maybe I deserve a massage. I'm going to go get a massage. Whatever. You name it, right? Again, hit pause. And in this section, all those items that are just little nice to haves, little like feel good, little dopamine hits, little me moments, a nice dinner. You might get an upgraded car nicely, whatever. They're not massive dreams. They're not massive goals. They're not massive things. They're just nice things. So again, your salary might cover a lot of this. A little bit of commission might cover a lot of this. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. So spend a second, put that stuff in that middle bracket, and then come back. And then the last thing I want you to do, and you can see these are the big ticket items, right? These are those things that when you sit down, you go, I've just bought a lottery ticket. Oh my God, what would I do with that money? This stuff. I'm not going to have a mortgage. I'm going on international holidays. I'm going to invest in stock shares. I'm going to buy these apartments. I'm going to get all the Rolexes I can think of. Whatever. My partner doesn't have to work anymore. My partner has to work less. I can be generous with my family. I can start a charity. Whatever those high level items are for you, that's what goes in the top. Excuse me. That's what goes in the top, okay? So these are like those big ticket things that get you really excited, that might take you sort of 5 years to maybe save up for, okay? So just hit pause, and I want you to fill out the things that really excite you. Now, these are just things I plucked out of thin air. They're not even necessarily things that excite me, but they are just They're big ticket items for a reason. So you might have, I want to buy this Monet. I don't know. You might want to buy a Banksy. I don't know. Whatever gets you out of bed and excited, like really, really, really excited. It might be to build a recording studio. It might be to have the best Air Jordan shoe collection. You want a whole room full of them. Like stupid shit. Stuff that you would never in your million years think of doing because you just think, I've got all this other stuff down the bottom to pay for. Hit pause, go to that exercise, and then come back. Now what I want you to do, down the side, okay, I've put 260 grand here, and this is sort of relevant to what the guys in our office and girls in our office are making. But if you're doing $260,000 in recruitment fees a year, okay, not what you take home, but what you're billing, right? We would probably all agree that's a fairly low performer, okay? And that's just going to cover your cost of the company and your wages and your tools of trade and things like that. No one's winning when you do 260. But what it does highlight is that there are people listening to this that are in that bracket, and there's no shame on that. You've got a lot of growth to do, and that's fine. That's why you're listening to us. Thank you. Good work. But I want you to see that when you are performing at a low level, this is the shit that you can afford. It's the bills. It's the mortgage. It's the power bills. It's your food to put on the table. It's your car rego. It's birthday. It's haircuts. Like fucking boring stuff. Like stuff that is just mundane life. No one actually wakes up as a child and goes, "That's where I want to live my life," in mundane. They all think something great's going to happen. I'm gonna build an empire for myself. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna achieve great things. If you're a recruiter and this is what you're doing right now, make the most of it. If you're billing 260K, it's not good enough because you're living a life of mediocrity. And you don't want that, do you? No, you do not. You can see where I'm going with this. Now all of a sudden you're a 400K biller, okay? This is where you start to get maybe some designer sunglasses. I've got a big commission check. I'm going to buy a nice jacket. I'm now going to go to that 5-star restaurant. Might upgrade my car. This is kind of like when you hit 400, you are making commissions. It's not a lot, but you are making some. So I've been really ill the last few weeks, guys. I'm losing my voice. But you can see that if you start being a 400K biller, you're starting to make some okay commissions, and you're able to start living a bit more of a life that you're dreaming for, okay? But the cream de la creme, right? And I picked 750 because I think any recruiter can reach that number. Any recruiter who's doing this should be able to hit 750 at some point in their career. But what this does highlight is that you're not living in no mortgage or international holidays or beautiful Rolexes or all this amazing stuff that you put down in the top bracket. You can't do that without absolute excellence in performance, okay? So the opportunity loss for you between going from anywhere from sort of like 300-400K to 750 is massive. Like it's an exponential amount of money after you go past 400, because when you go past 400, it's just cream, right? There's none of this shit down the bottom to be paid for. All your bills are covered. All that below the line shit is taken care of. All these day-to-day bills, they're already taken care of. Every dollar you earn above 400 is actually just for you to line your pockets and do the fun shit with, right? Is to push your life forward, to push your quality of life upwards, to do the things you actually want to do on this planet. That happens above 400, okay? It doesn't happen below 400. I'm telling you now. If you're earning under 400K in billings as a recruiter, you're paying the bills, okay? If you're earning over 400 as a recruiter, you're starting to have some fucking fun. Okay? And this, now you know this, you'll never be able to unsee it. And I want you, what you should do is actually print this out, stick it on your wall, and look at it every single day and go, where do I want to be? Do I want to be above the line? Do I want to be looking at holiday homes? Or do I want to be just, do I want to be paying power bills? What do you want to do? Do you want to go to Italy and spend a month in some vineyard? Or do you want to stay here and pay for your petrol, do some house repairs, maybe, watch some Netflix, go to sleep, rinse, repeat? Where do you want to live? It's up to you. But the difference between your 260s, your 300, 400K billings and 750 is that exponential fun, exponential life happens above 400. So go and get it. Go and kill it. Go and do it for yourself. Don't do it for me. Don't do it for your boss. Do it for you because you fucking deserve it. Have an amazing day. If you got anything out of this, please like, share, subscribe. This one, if you're a manager, you should be doing this exercise with your staff. I don't care. Rip me off. Go and do it. You can say the lone recruiter taught me this one. Okay? Get you guys to watch this podcast. It helps us grow. We want to help as many people as we can. I'm losing my voice to deliver this. This is how important it is that I keep giving you guys the content. Have an amazing day. And as always, may all your deals come true.